So once again welcome back. In the last lecture we discussed in detail about the various operating torque, or you can say operating force, which are required for the normal operation of any indicating type analog instrument, and different types of symbols which are used for analog instrument. So let us continue our last lecture, and then we will discuss some aspect regarding the permanent magnet moving coil instrument. So in the last lecture we saw that for the operation of any analog instrument we required minimum 3 different type of forces or 3 different types of operating torque. First one is called as your deflection torque, second one is called as controlling torque, and third one is called as damping torque. And I told you that what is the requirement of deflection torque, or what is the purpose of deflection torque? It will provide the main driving input in order to move the pointer of that instrument from its initial position. And in order to have that main driving input, the analog instrument may use magnetic effect, or you can say induction effect, electrostatic effect, Hall effect, or thermal effect for converting the input electrical energy into output mechanical energy. Then what is the concept of controlling torque? Controlling torque is going to serve two purposes. First one is that at steady state condition the magnitude of controlling torque is going to equal to its corresponding deflection torque, and the pointer will indicate the final value of unknown quantity. And second thing is that when the instrument is disconnected from the supply, the pointer will come back to its original position because of controlling torque. And in most of the cases I told you that in order to have this controlling torque, a spring mechanism is implemented in the instrument. And what is the role of damping torque? As I told you that at steady state condition, when the magnitude of controlling torque is going to equal to its corresponding deflection torque, due to the inertia of that system, the pointer will create some oscillation with respect to its final position, and to reduce the magnitude of those oscillation we required damping torque. And in majority of the cases, if you open any analog instrument, eddy current damping is adopted to have this component in picture. So in this lecture we will see how these three operating torque, or you can say operating force, are going to change at various instant of working of any analog instrument. For example, let us consider the first instant, or you can say first stage, when the analog instrument is not connected to the circuit, or you can say that it is not connected to any input excitation system. In that case, the total number of forces developed in that instrument are going to be 0. That means किसी भी प्रकार का कोई भी टॉर्क उस पर्टिकुलर इंस्ट्रूमेंट में डेवलप नहीं होगा, ना तो डिफ्लेक्शन टॉर्क रहेगा, ना तो कंट्रोलिंग टॉर्क रहेगा, और ना ही डैम्पिंग टॉर्क रहेगा. नाउ लेट अस कंसीडर सेकेंड इंस्टेंट, और यू कैन से स्टेज नंबर 2, द मोमेंट वी कनेक्ट दैट इंस्ट्रूमेंट टू द सर्क्यूट. इन दैट केस वी आर हैविंग 3 forces inside that instrument. And what are those forces? First one is your deflection torque, second one will be your controlling torque, and third one will be your damping torque. That means जिस मूवमेंट पे मैं वो इंस्ट्रूमेंट को सर्किट के अंदर में कनेक्ट करूंगा, उस मूवमेंट पे उस इंस्ट्रूमेंट के अंदर में 3 फोर्सेस साइमल्टेनियसली काम करेंगे, TD, TC एंड damping torque. Then let us consider another instant, or you can say stage number 3, at steady state condition, or you can say final condition. That means the condition where the pointer will indicate the final value of unknown quantity. At that instant we are having only 2 forces in an analog instrument, and those 2 forces are your deflection torque and controlling torque. And I can say that at this particular instant the magnitude of controlling torque is going to be equal to its corresponding deflection torque. That means the pointer will indicate the final value of unknown quantity, and the role of damping torque is going to be 0, because अब मेरा जो पॉइंटर है वो फाइनल वैल्यू जो है वो इंडिकेट कर रहा, तो वो केस में डैम्पिंग टॉर्क का कोई रोल ही नहीं रहेगा. डैम्पिंग टॉर्क क्यों रिक्वायर्ड है? इन ऑर्डर टू रिड्यूस द ऑसिलेशंस विच will be made by a pointer when it will come back to, or when it will indicate the final value of unknown quantity. But in this case, because it is a steady state condition, that means pointer indicating the final value of unknown quantity, so there will be no oscillations and there will be no role of damping torque. Then let us consider stage number 4, or you can say next instant, the moment when we disconnect that instrument from the supply. So when we disconnect that instrument from the supply, the component of this deflection torque is going to be 0, because there is no input current, there will be no initial force, or there will be no initial driving force to drive the pointer, and that is the reason TD is going to be 0. And in this case, or you can say at this instant, there will be only one force acting on the pointer, that is nothing but a controlling torque whose main function is to bring back the pointer to its initial position. So here we are having only one force acting in that instrument. And let us consider this last stage, or you can say last instant, when the instrument is completely disconnected from the circuit, and again the total number of forces developed in that instrument are going to be 0. That means if you see the overall, what we can say, flow, or you can say changes of these operating torque or operating forces during various stages of analog instrument. Initially, when the instrument is not connected to the circuit, number of forces are 0. The instant when we connect that instrument to the circuit, we are having 3 forces: deflection torque, controlling torque, and the damping torque. Then next instant, at steady state condition, we are having only 2 forces. First one will be your deflection torque, and second one will be your controlling torque. There is no role of damping torque over here. And then next instant, when the instrument is disconnected from the circuit, the role of damping torque is going to be 0, and we are having only one force acting in it. And finally, when the instrument is come back to its initial position, there will be no force developed in it. So the flow, or you can say the change of these operating forces, are from 3, then 2, and then 1, and then finally coming back to 0, which is very, very important. Now the next topic, or you can say the next point which we are going to cover in this lecture, is the concept of permanent magnet moving coil instrument. Now what is the meaning of this permanent magnet moving coil instrument and how it is going to work, that we will discuss. So in the last lecture I told you that if you open any electrical instrument, the main input quantity in that electrical instrument is current, or you can say it is the main ruling quantity, and the output of that instrument is either a force, or you can say deflection theta. If you see the nature of input quantity, it is electrical, whereas the nature of output quantity is mechanical. And I told you that in order to convert this input electrical quantity into output mechanical quantity, we are having various effects, or you can say working principle, with the help of which we are in a position to convert this input electrical quantity into output mechanical quantity. Now suppose if an analog instrument used magnetic effect to convert this input electrical quantity into output mechanical quantity, then they are called as magnetic effect based analog instrument. And magnetic effect based analog instruments are further classified into 3 main domains, depending upon on which quantity they are going to use. First one is called as PMMC, which is called as permanent magnet moving coil instrument. Second one is called as EMMC, which is nothing but electromagnet moving coil type analog instrument. And third one is called as MI, or moving iron type analog instrument. So if you open any of these analog instrument, either say PMMC, or you can say EMMC, or say MI, in all of these analog instrument, the main, what we can say, working effect is magnetic effect, with the help of which that analog instrument is capable to convert the input electrical quantity into output mechanical quantity. Now let us try to analyze how this PMMC type instrument work. And for that, let us consider the schematic view of a simple PMMC type instrument. So in this type of instrument, we are having one permanent magnet. Let us consider that this indicates the north pole and this will indicate the south pole of permanent magnet, and let us assume that this permanent magnet is fixed. That means it is not going to change its position. So this indicates permanent magnet, and we know that this magnet is capable to produce its own magnetic field external in the direction from north pole to south pole like this, and internally direction of magnetic field is from south pole to north pole. Now let us consider that we have placed another coil in the vicinity of this permanent magnet, and this indicates the sense of winding of that coil. Let us consider that this terminal is indicated by symbol 1 and this terminal indicate by symbol 1 dash. So 1 dash indicate the terminals of this coil, and this coil is not fixed at any terminal, so I can say that this coil will move depending upon the force of attraction, or you can say force of repulsion between these two arrangements. Now let us excite this coil by some input quantity. Suppose I have connected a battery over here for the excitation of this coil. Because this terminal is positive and this terminal is negative, there will be a flow of current from higher polarity to lower polarity. So the flow of current is from 1 to 1 dash like this. Now because this coil carries some finite amount of current, it will produce its own magnetic field in its vicinity, and if you apply thumb rule over here, then thumb indicate the direction of magnetic field produced by this coil. So the direction of magnetic field are like this. That means this point is going to be as a north pole and this point is going to be act as a south pole. Now if you imagine this picture carefully, you will find that we are having two magnets. First one is your permanent magnet and second one is the electromagnet, out of which permanent magnet is fixed. That means it is not going to change its position, whereas this electromagnet is movable in nature. Now this point is south pole, this point is north pole, and we know that due to the dissimilarities of what we can say pole arrangement, there will be a force of attraction. So I can say that this coil will try to move in the direction of permanent magnet due to the force of attraction between these two magnets. And suppose if you connect a pointer over here and if you provide some scale, or you can say calibrated scale, then depending upon the force of attraction between this coil, or you can say this electromagnet and permanent magnet, the pointer will change its position like this. So this angle is nothing but your final deflection. So this is what the construction of simple PMMC type instrument. Why it is called as PMMC? Because here we are having permanent magnet, and due to the force of attraction, or you can say force of repulsion, this coil is capable to move away from the permanent magnet, or you can say towards the permanent magnet. So here it is a moving coil and here we are having a permanent magnet. So the combination of permanent magnet moving coil is nothing but PMMC. Now this type of instrument works on the principle of Lorentz force equation. Lorentz force equation, which is given by F is equals to BIL into sine of theta, where B indicate the magnitude of magnetic flux density which is produced by permanent magnet, I indicate the magnitude of current flowing through a moving coil, and L indicate the effective length of moving coil, and theta indicate the angle between B and I. If you see this mathematical equation, in this mathematical equations we are having only two vector quantity, or you can say two phasor quantity. First one is your B and second one is your I. So in vector form I can write this equation as F bar equals to B bar cross I bar multiplied by L. So if you want to calculate the magnitude of that particular force, so I can write here as BIL multiplied by sine of theta, where theta is the angle between this B and I. So permanent magnet moving coil instrument works on the principle of Lorentz force equation, and from this explanation it is very clear that PMMC instruments are only used for the measurement of DC quantity, because here I have connected a battery of voltage say V. Now let us try to analyze what will happen when an alternating source of current is connected as an input to this coil, whether this PMMC magnet is going to work or not, that we are going to analyze. So for that, let us consider the same arrangement. Here we are having a permanent magnet. Let this is north pole and this is going to be the south pole, and depending upon its polarity it will generate its own magnetic field externally like this. Now to this arrangement we placed another coil like this. Let this terminal is 1 and this terminal is say 1 dash. Now what we are going to do, we will connect AC source as an input to this coil. Instead of connecting a DC source, we are now connecting an AC source, and let us try to analyze whether this instrument is going to work or not, and then we will make some final conclusions. Now when I say AC, that means the input quantity is alternating in nature. That means it is continuously varying with respect to time depending upon the supply frequency. And in India, normally we prefer supply frequency of AC quantity as 50 Hertz. And if you calculate the time period, it is going to be 1 upon F, which is 1 by 50. So I can write here as time period as 20 millisecond. So the time period of this quantity is 20 millisecond. And if you divide it by 2, so this is going to be around 10 millisecond. So from this it is very clear that after every 10 millisecond the polarity of that quantity is going to be changed. That means suppose for first 10 millisecond this terminal is going to be positive and this terminal is going to be negative. The direction of current is like this, that is from 1 to 1 dash, and in next 10 millisecond the polarities are going to be reversed. That means this point will act as a positive and this point will act as a negative, and the direction of current is like this. Now let us try to analyze how this equipment is going to work under this condition. So let us consider the first case, or you can say case number 1, when terminal 1 is going to be positive and terminal 1 dash is going to be negative. That means the direction of current is like this, left to right. So in that case, here will be the magnitude of current flows through this coil like this, and if you apply thumb rule over here, this coil will produce its own magnetic field in this direction. So this point is north pole and this point is going to be south pole. Now see here, this point is fixed because it is a permanent magnet, and for this instant, that means in first case this point is north pole and this point is south pole. So see here, this is south and this is north, so there will be a force of what we can say attraction, So I can say that in first 10 millisecond, this moving coil will experiences a force of attraction and it will try to move towards the permanent magnet. And suppose if you connect a pointer over here, so depending upon the force of what we can say attraction, let us consider that this pointer will experiences the direction in clockwise sense. Now this instant will remain only for 10 millisecond. In next 10 millisecond, what will happen? We will have the arrangement like this. This will remain as it is, north pole, south pole. There will be a magnetic field like this. Then here we are having a coil. This terminal is 1 and this terminal is going to be 1 dash. Now in next 10 millisecond, what will happen? This terminal is going to be positive and this terminal is going to be negative. Now in this case, the direction of current is like this. Now if you apply thumb rule over here, thumb indicate the direction of magnetic field produced by this electromagnet. In this case, this point will act as a north pole and this point will act as a south pole. That means the field externally will move in this direction. Like this. Now if you see, this polarity is south and this polarity is south, there will be a force of repulsion. That means this moving coil will experiences a force because of which it will try to move away with respect to the fixed magnet, or you can say permanent magnet. So from this, it is very clear that in first 10 millisecond there will be a force of attraction, and then in next 10 millisecond there will be a force of repulsion. And because of that reason, due to the inertia of this system, suppose if you connect a pointer over here, it will not sense any rotation. It will not rotate either in clockwise direction or in anti-clockwise direction, because this is your electrical domain. 50 हर्ट्ज का अगर मैं बात कर रहा हूं तो 50 हर्ट्ज फ्रीक्वेंटली चेंज होगा, बट अगर मैं उसका रिस्पॉन्स मैकेनिकल डोमेन में देखता हूं, बिकॉज ऑफ इट्स इनर्शिया दिस पॉइंटर विल नॉट produce any output either in clockwise direction or in anti-clockwise direction. So from this example, it is very clear that PMMC type instrument will work only on DC. They will not work on AC. Why they will not work on AC? Because of their frequency component. हाँ, अगर मुझे PMMC इंस्ट्रूमेंट को AC पे काम करवाना है तो मैं करवा सकता हूं, लेकिन उस केस में मुझे क्या करना पड़ेगा? ये जो सप्लाई फ्रीक्वेंसी है इसको कम करना पड़ेगा. सप्लाई फ्रीक्वेंसी को अगर मैं कम कर रहा हूं तो अल्टीमेटली मैं क्या कर रहा हूं? उसका टाइम पीरियड जो है वो बढ़ा रहा हूं. अगर ये टाइम पीरियड को मैंने बढ़ा दिया, फॉर एग्जाम्पल अगर मैं टाइम पीरियड को रखता हूं 20 सेकेंड, instead of having 20 millisecond, if I take this time period as 20 second, so in that 20 second we are having the response change shift of 10 second. तो उस केस में क्या होगा कि फर्स्ट 10 सेकेंड में इट मे पॉसिबल दैट द पॉइंटर विल मूव इन क्लॉकवाइज डायरेक्शन एंड देन इन नेक्स्ट 10 सेकेंड द पॉइंटर विल मूव इन एंटी क्लॉकवाइज डायरेक्शन. सो वो केस के अंदर में हमारा जो पीएमएमसी टाइप इंस्ट्रूमेंट है वो क्या करेगा? स्विंग करेगा. इन फर्स्ट 10 सेकेंड इट विल मूव इन क्लॉकवाइज एंड देन इन नेक्स्ट 10 सेकेंड इट विल मूव इन एंटी क्लॉकवाइज. बट द थिंग इज दैट बिकॉज वी डोंट हैव फ्लेक्सिबिलिटी टू चेंज दिस supply frequency, that means it is going to be fixed. In our case, that's why the time period is 20 millisecond, half of that is 10 millisecond. So in that case, PMMC type instrument will not indicate any deflection as an output. So the thumb rule is that PMMC type instruments are used for the measurement of DC quantity, not for AC quantity. In the next lecture, we will see the working principle of EMMC and MI type instrument. Thank you.